A very good morning to all of you. Well, students, let's proceed with the topic. And today we'll start from this paragraph that we must realize that some of the suggestions discussed above would take a long time to implement. हम ऊपर वाली चीज़ों से ये रियलाइज़ तो कर चुके हैं कि कुछ सजेशंस ऐसे हैं जिनको इम्प्लीमेंट करने में टाइम लगता है, बट फॉर द शॉर्ट टर्म वी नीड सम क्विक मेजर्स. So, recognizing this, the central government in India made a law implementing the right to work. तो उसको ध्यान में रख के सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ क्विक लॉ बनाए और जो कि उसमें से एक था राइट टू वर्क. And it was started in 200 districts of India, and then it was extended to an additional 130 more districts. The remaining districts in rural areas, they were brought under the act with effect from 1st April 2008. Now, it is also called National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. In 2005, it was started and popularly known as NREGA. Under NREGA 2005, all those people who are able and are in a need of work, जो एबल भी हैं और जिनको काम की ज़रूरत है, दे आर गारंटेड 100 days ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट इन अ ईयर बाय द गवर्नमेंट. इफ द गवर्नमेंट फेल्स इन इट्स ड्यूटी टू प्रोवाइड एम्प्लॉयमेंट, इट विल गिव अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अलाउंस टू द पीपल. तो ये गवर्नमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट 100 दिनों की, एक साल में 100 दिनों की गारंटेड वर्क देती है, और अगर उसमें फेल हो जाती है तो उस आदमी को, उस एम्प्लॉय को अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अलाउंस देती है. द टाइप ऑफ वर्क that would in future help to increase the production from land will be given preference under the act. इसमें जो काम किया जाता है, जो लोगों की फ्यूचर को ठीक करने के लिए, उनके फ्यूचर को बढ़ावा देने के लिए, उसमें ज़्यादातर काम होता है जो ज़मीन से रिलेटेड है. Now, these are some of the questions you will have to do this. Why do you think NREGA 2005 is referred to as work, right to work? These are some of the questions which we are going to discuss in the class. Now let's move further and let's see how the division of sectors as organized and unorganized is there. Now let us just examine another way of classifying activities in the economy. अब हम एक दूसरा तरीका लगाते हैं अपनी एक्टिविटीज़ को, अर्थव्यवस्था में एक्टिविटीज़ को क्लासीफाई करने का. This looks at the way people are employed. What are their conditions of work? Are there any rules and regulations that are followed as regards their employment? Now there are two examples. Some examples are there. Let's have one example. Kanta. She works in an office. She attends her office from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. She gets her salary regularly at the end of every month. In addition to salary, she also gets provident fund as per the rules laid down by the government. She also gets medical and other allowance. Kanta does not go to the office on Sundays, and this is a paid holiday. When she joined work, she was given an appointment letter stating all the terms and conditions of work. Now, when we just read this paragraph, we come to know that this comes in organized sector, because all the terms, they are very much just clear to every employee, and all the things are being given to the employee at regular terms. Now let's have another example. Kamal is Kanta's neighbor. He is a daily wage laborer in a nearby grocery shop. He goes to the shop at 7:30 a.m. in the morning and works till 8 p.m. in the evening. He gets no other allowance apart from his wages. He is not paid for the days he does not work. He has therefore no leave or paid holidays. Nor was he given any formal letter saying that he has been employed in the shop. He can be asked to leave any time by his employer. So here we can come to know that things are not proper and they are not being implemented properly. So it is called unorganized sector. Now let's move further and let's see the differences. As Kanta works in the organized sector, and what is the definition of organized sector and what does it comprise? Now, first point is organized sector covers those enterprises or places of work where the terms of employment are regular and therefore people have assured work. They are registered by the government and they have to follow its rules and regulations, which are given in various laws such as the Factories Law Act, Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Gratuity Act, Shops and Establishment Act, etc. It is called organized because it has some formal processes and procedures. Some of these people may not be employed by anyone, but they may work on their own, but they too have to register themselves with the government and follow the rules and regulations. So I think the things are clear to you. Now, workers in the organized sector enjoy security of employment. Means they cannot be asked to leave their job at any time. They are to be given notice, prior notice. So they are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. If they work more, they have to be paid overtime by the employer. They also get They also get several other benefits from the employer. Now, what are these benefits? They are here. They get paid leave, they get payment during holidays, they get provident fund, gratuity, etc. They are supposed to get medical benefits, and under the laws, the factory manager has to ensure facilities like drinking water and a safe working environment. When they retire, these workers get pensions as well. So these are the things which are there in organized sector. Now let's move towards unorganized sector, and they are reverse. In contrast, Kamal works in the unorganized sector. The unorganized sector is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of government. These are rules and regulations. Rules and regulations are there, but these are not followed. Jobs here are low paid and often not regular. So there is no provision for overtime, paid leave, holidays, leave due to sickness, etc. Employment is not secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. उनको बोला किसी भी टाइम पे कह दिया जाता है जॉब छोड़ने के लिए. When there is less work, such as during some season, some people may be asked to leave. A lot also depends on the whims of employer. ये सब ज़रूर मतलब डिपेंड करता है एम्प्लॉयर की विश पे. The sector includes a large number of people who are employed on their own during doing small jobs such as selling on the street or doing repair work. Similarly, farmers work on their own and hire labor as and when they retire. So these are some of the points which cover organized sector and unorganized sector. Now these are some of the questions. I hope that you can do them easily. So this is all for today, and tomorrow we'll be continuing with the chapter. Till then, bye and enjoy your